The kick is good. Rams win it, and on to Super Bowl 53 they go. Sean McVay and this Rams team on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap.
The turnaround for the Los Angeles Rams for the last few years. And John Fossil's done a terrific job with that unit, and you're right. That's a great job of getting the hold, getting the ball down.
I think we ain't done yet.
You personally?
I think we ain't done yet.
I ain't done. As long as it's breath in my lungs. I ain't done. I ain't done. I ain't done. As long as it's breath in my lungs. I ain't done.
Welcome to a new Clash of the Horns, and I just want to start with the just plain out truth, unadulterated commentary about this game and my opinions about the game. And man, am I excited. The LA Rams are finally at the Super Bowl and about to go and get some revenge for that 2002 loss against the Patriots, and some revenge for the greatest show on turf. But let's talk about the Rams and Saints. And I want to start off with this. I'm not going to feel bad about that PI call that wasn't called when all this other stuff was happening to the Rams and happened to us before this game. Back in week 9, was it, when the Rams first played the Saints, and every ref call went to the Saints, like every single call. Don't get me started with other times where the Saints got saved by the referees, like that fake pass interference inside the end zone on the cornerback from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that first down that should have been called, a lot of PIs that weren't called against the Saints the first time we played them. And then the face mask against Jared Goff. Are we forgetting about the Bounty Gate scandal that happened? The Saints cheating the Vikings back when Brett Favre was their quarterback. And then they went on to win the Super Bowl, and people want to talk about how the Rams are cheaters and this and that. Saints can go kiss my ass, is what the Saints can do. Because no one deserves it more than the freaking New Orleans Saints. And sorry if you're a Saints fan that watches my channel or just happen to skim by through it, but I don't care. I don't care that the Saints feel the way they do. Why? Because the Rams are the better team. The Rams were basically the underdogs inside your stadium. You were up 0-13 when the game first started. Like, there's no reason you should have lost this game. You were playing at home. You had a 13-point lead. You had the crowd noise as it. You actually had the ball first in overtime. So let's not pretend that you didn't have your chances to win this game, regardless of that PI. And not only did the Rams win, but they had a tremendous season the whole season through, and Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, and Donovan Soon, Dante Fowler really came out to play in this game. Really came out to play. But I'm not going to feel bad that the New Orleans Saints got screwed over in that one play, that one call that just didn't go their way, and they want to be over here crying about it, even though they had an opportunity to basically finish the Rams off fair and square. But they didn't. They just decided that they lost and they were going to be crying like little babies, and that's what they basically did. Now, if you want to talk about a real screw job, go watch that Saints-Vikings game. Yet again, let me go show you the highlights of that game and what I'm talking about.
What Rex Ryan says to his defense. Now listen, Desante Shenko has a nose for the ball, but Tracy Porter, you can't, there's no flag on this, you can't do that.
Listen, not only does Tracy Porter hold his shirt, but he actually tears his shirt. There's actually a piece of that shirt on the sideline after the play, and they still don't throw a flag.
Yeah, no flag. Okay, how about this situation here? Brett Favre, I don't, what do you, where, the high-low here, is that against the rules?
I see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the Tommy Brady rule right there.
Listen, it's the rule.
Can't believe it's a guy get a quarterback. Not low and high. That's the rule. Okay, now the Vikings sideline, late when they had the 12-minute huddle, there are 10 huddles.
I think there's actually 12, one for each player that entered the huddle. Yeah. Get control of your sideline, and then who's ever in charge of the personnel needs to take charge of the situation and get the right people in the huddle. Never mind taking 2 timeouts in a row.
It was like spring football at a college program. There were so many people on the field. And the whole thing with overtime, Booth Review took over the game. Here, to Devery Henderson, bobbles it, comes up short. It was booth review after booth review after review.
Yeah, they got a little old after a while, but you know what? Hey, this is questionable. You know what? Hey, this goes either way, but he did not get the first down.
Well, then there comes this one on 4th and inches. They go for it, and there's going to be a booth review. And Tim, the fumble is coming, and then he has to repossess the ball. He's behind the marker, isn't he?
Absolutely. Regardless of who passes it there, the ball is now out of his control. And Trey, you said he's got to repossess that thing, and where he comes down does not look to be past the first down mark.
Yet they said, well, we can't overturn it. Darren, show me the pass interference here.
You know what? No way.
Did he sneeze on David Thomas?
You know, there is no way that's bad. Especially overtime, this close to the game, the officials don't want to get involved.
No.
Shouldn't get involved in this play right here. Not a pass.
It's
not
not
even a catchable ball.
Exactly.
That's what happens when two bad athletes try to adjust.
Oh, well, I'll give it
I'd love to see you guys like the defense side.
Yeah, and then later on, we have another issue here. Did Robert Meacham really ever catch this ball?
I don't think so, but I know that Brad Childers actually made a great decision here by Brad Childers.
Booth review! What a shock! Booth review! That ball comes out.
That hits the ground.
That hits the ground.
That hits the ground.
By the rules this year, that's not a catch, right?
That is definitely not a catch.
And yet, somehow it was. And it led to this. And of course, the city of New Orleans could care less about our musings and wonder.
So I don't care. I honestly don't. But the Rams are in the Super Bowl. The Rams came to play. Jared Goff outplayed Drew Brees in the second half to tie the game. Could have possibly won the game if it wasn't for that face mask that wasn't called. And would have put the Saints in on the defensive side rather than trying to just run the clock down. But they also didn't run for 100 yards rushing. Kamara, Ingram, they didn't do anything on the running the ball. Other than Kamara juking Corey Littleton for little passes here and there, and then eventually the Rams got smart and took them off their route with Dante Fowler kind of pushing him to the side. Other than that, the passing game was basically non-existent for Drew Brees. He basically didn't do anything. Other than the turnover that Jared Goff had in the beginning with that tip pass that they intercepted because Todd Gurley was just having a bad game. Other than that, the Saints didn't really do much. The only thing that they were doing is just trying to see what worked. The Rams are basically pretty good making those stops early on. They probably would have gone 21-0 if the Rams defense didn't show up, but they did. And then what I really liked was how poised Jared Goff was in the pocket. Even though he couldn't hear, he was still really good inside the pocket, throwing downfield to Josh Reynolds and throwing it down to clutch plays to Gerald Everett, who I said, it's not your superstars that have to show up in this game. It's all the above average players, the guys that the depth in your team has to show up. So C.J. Anderson came in for Todd Gurley because he was having a bad game. Josh Reynolds had a pretty big game. Tyler Higbee with the touchdown and a couple of first downs in the end of the game and to seal the deal for the Rams. Greg Zuerlein, Greg the Leg being perfect when it comes to field goal kicking, and just being a smart head coach. Sean McVay really came out and outplayed Sean Payton because Sean Payton got greedy. He wanted to score a touchdown. He wanted to end the game. He didn't play it smart. He did not want to give the Rams a chance to come and basically take over this game, so he wanted to score a touchdown and make it a little bit harder, which would have been a smart thing to do if he could have done it, but he didn't. So that gave the Rams time to come back in the fourth quarter, and that's what they did. Now, like I said, the depth players in this game really showed up to me. Dante Fowler came out, got that, he kind of hit Drew Brees right when he threw it, so it went up in the air, and John Johnson comes out with a clutch interception to seal the deal for the Rams and give us good field position to basically score the winning field goal. Another guy that showed up in this game as well is Ndamukong Suh, which I said if the Rams can stop the run, they had to do two things to win this game if you saw my last video. Stop the run and double team Mike Thomas. And I have to give my MVP award to Aqib Talib and whoever was kind of helping him out. But a lot of the instances, it was just Aqib Talib one-on-one with Mike Thomas, and what they did was double team him on third down, which I said to do because that's basically Drew Brees' only guy he throws to, and Alvin Kamara on the slant routes. And then don't give them yards after the catch, because that's what they love to do. That's a lot of what Mike Thomas does. So you'll see an immediate tackle from either Corey Littleton or Mark Barron. Marcus Peters actually had a pretty decent game this game. Only allowed like maybe 50 yards the whole game. I think Mike Thomas had about, I'm going to say 40 to 50 yards the entire game. We shut that shit down. Aqib Talib came to play, and he showed up, and which is why he's still one of the best corners. And when we ended up getting him in free agency, and the Rams picked him up, all you heard from 49ers fans and Raiders fans and the rest of the league that didn't get him was that he was too old, that he wasn't that good anymore. That's why the Broncos let him go. No, it's because the cap room. Same thing with C.J. Anderson, had 1,000 yards rushing last year with basically no quarterback and just a half-assed decent offensive line, and he got 1,000 yards. So the Rams ended up getting 2 great Broncos players. So thank you, Broncos fans, for these 2 amazing pickups, and also thank you for Wade Phillips, because without Wade, we couldn't have this defense is basically helping us get to the Super Bowl, in which they did. But I like the fact that the Rams were smart in getting Aqib Talib, and he shut that shit down against Mike Thomas. You didn't hear a peep from him. All you heard were excuses from the Saints and all these Rams haters that are calling this a fluke Super Bowl because of one bad call. But yet, when the Rams had one of the Saints players stomp on his head, I think it was either Josh Reynolds or Brandon Cooks, then there was a face mask on Jared Goff that wasn't called, and it was blatantly obvious even in real time, and then it got even worse during the slow motion. Another one was Brandon Cooks getting face masked when they threw a deep pass down to Jared Goff to Brandon Cooks, and they face masked him down. They didn't call that. So there's a lot of things that weren't called. In one instance, I saw Michael Brockers being held right when he was about to sack Drew Brees, and that actual pass that he threw went for a first down. So I don't want to hear any excuses. The Rams came to play. They were the better team in the second half, and basically they won it in overtime. The Saints had the opportunity with home field advantage to win it in overtime, or at least score a field goal, but they didn't. So the Rams capitalized on their mistakes and won the game. Punk-ass Sean Payton just can't accept the fact that he got beat. He basically got beat. His offense couldn't do shit, and basically the only points they got was because of the whole fact that the Rams ended up giving them good field position, and they ended up capitalizing on it. And then not only that, but his wide receivers didn't do anything. He was getting basically whatever we allowed him to get is what he got. So whatever little field position, little yards that Alvin Kamara can get him, that's all they got. And that's why the Rams won. They were the better team. I don't care if you're salty about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and especially not the Bounty Gate team. If all teams would be bitching and complaining about getting cheated in the NFC Championship game, should be the Saints. This is karma. Karma is a bitch, Saints fans. And I wonder how the Vikings fans feel about this. So don't cry, because no one's gonna fucking care about your little tears when it comes to this loss. The Rams came to play. They deserved to go to the Super Bowl, and that's where we're headed, to Atlanta. And one thing I liked about the playoff game before the Rams won it is both the Panthers and the Falcons were rooting for the Rams because they didn't want them to win the Super Bowl, and especially the Falcons because they didn't want to have their divisional rival win a Super Bowl inside Atlanta. So that was funny. Like, if you saw it on Twitter, that was awesome. But one thing about this game too is you have to appreciate how the Rams went from 4-12, and Jared Goff saying this will get fixed when Jeff Fisher got fired from the team and he got let go, and then we have the interim head coach John Fossil who's amazing. But then here comes Sean McVay, gives them some upgrades, gives them a better scheme, a better game plan to succeed. Brought in Wade Phillips. First year went to the wild card round, got eliminated with dumb rookie mistakes that we made, and Falcons capitalized on it. And it was a hard pill to swallow, but we got through it. And then this year we go and beat the Saints in the NFC Championship game, and we're headed to the Super Bowl. I'm just so amazed about this team, and I'm so happy for them. Especially the long-term Rams like Roger Saffold and Michael Brockers, Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley that went through all these bad seasons. You know, Jared Goff from bust to now basically go if he wins the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Hopefully we do, man. Everything is lined up so perfectly for the Rams. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, the Raiders can't say that they're the only team that has a Super Bowl in Los Angeles, and that's one talking point. That's how we got to win it. We get revenge. We get to revenge the greatest show on turf in the best stage of them all in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, against Tom Brady and Belichick, against the East Coast, West Coast rivalry that everyone's starting to say that it's a conspiracy that they're trying to hold, the Lakers and the Celtics. No, the Rams are the best team in the NFC. The Patriots got through the Chiefs because they have no defense. They're going to be saying, well, the Rams, this ain't a real Super Bowl because, they cheated them and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. A ring is a ring. The Rams will win the Super Bowl. I fucking guarantee it. If there's a year to win it, it's this year. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, you guys, horns up, leave a like, leave a share, and go Rams. We're headed to the Super Bowl. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, yes. We're almost there. Yeah, receivers, use them. Yeah, receivers, use them. Ooh! Interception! Interception! Yes! Ah!
Los Angeles to Super Bowl 53. That snap. The kick is. The kick is good.
We're going to the Super Bowl!
Rams win it, and on to Super Bowl 53 they go. Sean McVay and this Rams team on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hekker to get that snap.
The turnaround for the Los Angeles Rams for the last few years. And John Fossil's done a terrific job with that unit, and you're right. That's a great job of getting the hold, getting the ball down.
I think we ain't done yet.
You personally?
I think we ain't done yet.